FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
Oh, well, I mean, I think ideals are good, but at the same time, I think, we've learned that realism sort of has a lot to be said for it. But the way America works, at least, and I imagine most countries are the same, is that, no one who's running for office says, I'm the candidate of sort of callous contempt and indifference to human suffering, right? And at the same time, no country defines, at least explicitly, defines their interests as trampling on everybody else around the world. And then again, people who are idealists, people who do just want to trample on the interests of other people around the world, always claim an idealistic motive for doing that. And that's always been the case. I mean, if you look back to, in America, debates about, should we colonize the Philippines through the use of widespread torture and massacres. This was done to bring Christianity over there, where I think they actually already were Christians. So to some extent, I think the question of idealism is a bit of a murky one. That doesn't mean all that much. The question when you look at a president who says, I want to do something about Darfur, the question is to really bore down and say, well, what does he want to do? Is it realistic? Not realist, capital R, but, can this really help? Will it just run amok too much? I worry, particularly with John McCain, he says he's a realistic idealist. But when you get down to what that means, he means that he wants to create a sort of team democracy that's we're gonna all band together and fight dictators, of all stripes: Sudan, Zimbabwe, China, Russia, Iran, all together. And that's crazy. That's not realistic.
But how does it play out in the politics of the United States? Obviously he's bringing it out because we're in a political moment. So how do you think that it sells in the United States as an idea?
Well, I think it's sold okay so far, but you can see that the way it's sold has been very deceptive. That, he's gotten some good press for that idea, but the good press has been with the notion that this represents a break from Bushism and a desire to re-engage with allies. And I think, in fact, it doesn't represent that at all. It represents a kind of intensification of Bushism. And that, if you just, ask important people in other democracies, it's not like Brazil and India and Germany are itching to sign up for an American Democracy League and go topple, dictatorships in Africa. And so politically, if you just make the point, you try to describe these ideas as what they are, I think you can see that conservatives have become very afraid of an honest presentation of what it is they're trying to do in the world.